Well, I am sure that Facebook is wondering what is going on and why they're seeing us again, but we're excited because today we have a special guest. So let me tell you guys what we're doing. We are bringing you as much information as we can to help you build and grow strong, sustainable businesses. So what we are going to start doing weekly is what's called red light. Get the thing? Red Development Group, red light, red champions. Yes, everything is themed red something. So the red light is not the red light y'all thinking about, but the red light is when we get an opportunity to bring our red champions on so you can learn about them. You can learn about the people and the organizations that make us amazing, that help us to help you, that help us to bring you the best content, create the best programming and services for you, the best events for you. So today we have such an amazing person on here. I mean, he's almost like Beyonce. I mean, after a while, you're not even gonna say his last name anymore. You know, it's just gonna be first name only.
First name. Yes.
So Mr. Kirk Lockhart is one of our red champions, and he is not only a social media strategist, but listen, he is an SEO guru. I am telling you, if you search the people he's touched, they are not only on page 1, no, they're on page 2, page 3, they on half of page 10. They have taken over the internet. That is what he is great at. He is great at making sure that you take over, dominate, and disrupt the search engine.
Right.
Yes. So if you've seen all of this red development group stuff everywhere, that's because we got the man himself, Mr. Kirk Lockhart, who's a part of our social media team back there killing it and making sure that people know we are here. So
Yes.
welcome, Mr. Lockhart.
Welcome, welcome. How you doing? How you
We are
doing?
so happy to have you here.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
You're amazing, right?
It's obvious why I'm with Red Group. Did you hear that introduction? Who wouldn't want to collaborate with someone that really appreciates you? You know?
You're the man. You're the man.
Right.
It's the truth with an F, man. It's the truth with an F.
We in the world of consulting. We in the world of consulting are used to being loved, you know, with payment. But we talk about this all the time. There's so many things more important than payments. Okay,
Right.
Paying it forward is probably the biggest thing you can do for anybody. And this is, I guess that's what's at the core of why we do these things.
Yes.
It's one thing to know how to do something, but to keep it to yourself is selfish and not productive. Okay.
Come on now, you preaching now.
We need some preaching right now. We can't leave the house. Okay, so doing some home preaching.
The whole world is on timeout. I don't know what we did, but we did something big, so we all on timeout.
Well, I shout out earlier today, since you're on house arrest, everybody's on house arrest.
Right.
Work on your business plan. Work on your business plan. I want everybody to work on their business plan this week.
Come on, what we doing?
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
It's all about the strategy.
Absolutely.
Ooh, you said my name. That's my name.
Uh-oh.
So I don't want to be Beyonce. I don't want to be Prince. I want people to remember the whole thing. I want Ask Kirk Lockhart. I want them to remember my name because that is my brand. Okay, that's how I'm found, and I stand on it. And I think that it's specific. Whenever you call somebody by one of their 3 names, you're not being specific. You're being general. And in the world of digital media, you have to be specific in everything you do to be effective.
Absolutely. And I think Reginald is going to ask you a question. I think she is.
So Kirk, you know, everybody wants to know what is social media. You know, we're all on different social media sites, but what does it really mean?
Okay.
We lost.
Yeah, she'll come back. Let's get her back. I'll go ahead and answer while we wait. What's social media to me versus what social media is to other people could be different. Everybody looks at it different. If you ask my mother, who's 72, she'll say social media is Facebook. If you ask my 16-year-old daughter, she'll say TikTok. Okay. If you ask her twin sister, who's 19, she'll say Instagram. If you ask her brother, he'll say Twitter. He's a football player in NCAA Division I. He's gonna say Twitter. Okay. And when he was in high school, it was Huddle. Okay. They have, everybody has a different platform that identifies with their either their industry, their hobby, just their vertical in life. Whatever it is they're doing, there's a platform for it. Okay. So to me, social media is all of those things encompassed. Mine, basically, I look at my MacBook as the hub for social media because I'm online 24 hours a day, answering questions and helping people find their way through this maze we call social media. Okay. And I think of the first one, of course, for me, is not necessarily social media, it's search. It starts with search. So I start with Google. Google first. And that's where do you start your can I banter back with you for a second?
Absolutely.
Where do you start a search?
Google or Siri or Alexa, who all go to Google.
All of them go to Google. Whatever you mention, trust me, they got a relationship with Google. Alexa seeing Google, Siri seeing Google, okay? And then Google at home, in our home, we have Google Home. So we have all three in this house. We have Google Home, we have Alexa, and then we have Siri on all the Apple products. Okay, so but I don't ask those questions, but everybody else does. My niece is Google. She asks questions all the time. I ask Jesus. I still ask Jesus. Okay.
Jesus, what the weather gonna be today?
Ask Google.
Jesus, ask Google. I gave you Google. Ask Google. So let me ask you this. So, because this is always what I'm interested in, and there's this thing where there are social media strategists or people who call themselves social media strategists, and then there are what do they call themselves? Digital media strategists. And so tell us what the difference is, because in my mind, Kirk is digital media, not just social media. Like what you do is so much more than just social. Like seriously, I don't know anybody who knows more about Yelp and YP and all of that stuff than Kirk does. And so I prefer not to call you a social media strategist. I prefer to call you a digital media strategist. But tell me why you chose one or the other, or just what the difference is between the two.
Well, you can call me what you want. You doesn't have to call me digital. You can call me specialist, you can call me whatever, but you doesn't have to call me digital. I think those people pick those different tags or designations for different reasons. When I created mine, there was no one else really using social media strategies. When I started, there were no social media strategists. It wasn't even competitive. They had a different name. They were digital medias. But now if you go to LinkedIn, if you go into the Ladder, if you go on Monster, if you go on Indeed, you'll see jobs posted for social media strategists now, okay? And I'll start with the genesis. I've been doing digital media since 2000, since the year 2000, okay? After everybody thought the world was going to end in 1999 and it didn't, then I started this, right? Nobody had a website and I was selling Yellow Page advertising. And one thing that we knew in Yellow Pages is that one day people were going to start transitioning to digital. As a matter of fact, no one was even selling the digital. I was the #1 salesman in it because I wasn't brainwashed into thinking that only the Yellow Pages or newspaper worked. I sold Yellow Page advertising and newspaper, but I wasn't like the old heads that didn't believe in the internet. So I sold it to everybody. Every client I had to get a website. Okay.
See, that's why I feel like you're more of a digital media strategist as opposed to just social. And I think maybe it's because of the way my brain thinks about social media. When I think about social media, my brain immediately goes Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. And I'm like, my brain is calling off all of these platforms. But what I know about Kirk, one of the things that sets you apart is you sold Yellow Pages. So you understand content.
I sold every kind of advertising, radio advertising, TV advertising, newspaper advertising. Yellow Pages was just the thing that was trying to bring them all together. And all of those things work together. When we sold Yellow Pages, we used to talk about how this form of media complemented this form of media. If you had a radio ad, where were they going to look for you? They weren't going to call you while they were watching TV. They were going to look for you in the Yellow Pages the next day. Same thing with a newspaper ad. A newspaper ad, they got to call you on the phone, okay? And then what would happen in 2001, the phone became that tool. The newspaper and everything started being on the phone. Once they created a web browser that could be accessed on the phone, it changed the game, okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, we're going to have a little word foreplay, okay? There's public relations. That first there was propaganda. It evolved into what? Public relations. Okay. Edward Bernays is the father of propaganda and public relations. Out of public relations became marketing, advertising, and that's where you get the term press release. A press release used to be just something you publish in a newspaper, but a press release became digital when it started to be on the internet. Okay. So we started merging all these things together. Digital media. Everything's digital now. It's a word that doesn't really have to be used anymore. I don't think we even really need to use the word digital anymore. Everybody's digital. This watch, remember digital watches? You remember remember the calculators?
Yeah.
Everything is no longer, those words are old. Let's forget that. I say social because it's no longer just this is not an activity that someone uses just when they're gonna buy something. It's an activity they use all day. It's part of their social life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was talking about things changing. The biggest evolution that I think we've had was going from that big screen to that smaller screen to that smaller screen. Okay. This screen right here, everything that's on this is on this. These two tools are the same. I can talk on this just like I can talk on this. I can send texts and emails on it, everything. Okay.
So Kirk, let me go back to something you said, because this is what I think we don't know. And I think as for business owners, you know, we're on all of these social platforms, and I think we're getting a little bit better with determining what social platforms our ideal buyer is on. I think we're getting a little bit better with that. But you said something that was very important that I think that we don't think about is it starts with the search. You can have a website, you can have Facebook, you can have all, but if people can't find you, then that's where the error is, or that's where the disconnect is. And so if you start with the search and you make it easy for me to find you and easy for me to be your customer, then I'm more apt to actually buy. So when you say it starts with the search, talk a little bit about that.
No matter what medium you were searching, it started with a search. When it was Yellow Pages, it was A through Z, and it was categories versus keywords. When it became digital, the keywords became important because now your computer is looking for a file. That business is literally like a file on your computer. And it was cool when there's only one file, like on your laptop. If there's only one file named Colette, it's gonna be easy to find. But what happens when you got 10 files named Colette? Now all of a sudden they're gonna sort. The ranking is gonna change. The most recent document is gonna show up at the top, okay? So the more search that document is, the higher what the word would be, not validity, relevance. The more you look at it, the more relevant it becomes. And it's the same way with the internet. The more people search for your name and the more people pull up your website and pull up your business information, the more relevant you are for those keywords, okay? So this is called optimization. The more you do it, that's improving. Optimization means to improve performance with revisions. Okay. So if I'm doing something, if I'm trying to find Reggie online, I put Reggie Kemp and we're misspelling her last name or her first name. After a while, if the internet is so smart that it starts to recognize that people are misspelling her first name. Okay. What if it's R-E-G-G-I? What if it's R-E-G-G-I-E? What if it's R-E-J-J-I? Okay. The internet will pick up the one that's most popular. If someone's name is R-E-J-J-I and it's searched more than R-E-G-G-I-E, that name will become more relevant and it will therefore appear higher in rankings, in search rankings. Okay. So see, the search is a smart search. It's not like it used to be. See, when I started, it wasn't any Google. There was no Yahoo. It was Lycos, Alta Vista, Dogpile, Netscape. Okay. Y'all remember those?
Yeah.
Okay. Some of them still exist. Okay. Ask. I sold pay-per-click advertising on Ask Jeeves.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that became ask.com and then Google bought it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything. Do you remember MySpace?
Of course, we remember MySpace, but Kirk, so you just blessed us because this whole thing about optimization, we all know that we need to do it. Most of us have no idea what it even means. And the way you just described it about when you start talking about relevance and the more people who want it, the internet gives us more of what we are asking it to give us when there's a collective of people asking for it, and that being optimization. That is the perfect way to describe that because it clicked for me and it really makes it make sense now. But so why is social media so important to you?
Because the internet is not like your parents. It's a people pleaser. The internet wants to please you. It wants to give you what you want. What you ask for, you get. And the more you ask for it, the more it gives you. Okay. It's important to me because I'll tell you, that's a good question. You just made me think of something. The biggest thing that just happened was this virus. Okay. And I can't say what's called because some of my searches are monetized, and y'all may not know this, but YouTube is not allowing us to say certain words right now. Okay. We're under a censorship on YouTube right now that will block certain videos that mention certain words. Okay. Like I can't curse. Okay. Right now they're looking at profanity. Have you noticed on your YouTube account where they ask you, is this content made for children? And you have to say yes or no. You can't upload a video unless you designate that it's for children or not for children. No more profanity, and you can't talk about controversial things right now. I'm not even gonna say what you can't talk about. I'm gonna let you look it up. Okay. Yeah. But what happened was people who were stuck in the old regime, the old dimension, the fourth dimension of go to work 7 days a week, 8 hours a day, take off Saturday and Sunday, come back Monday. Okay. That just changed. You had to go to work. When I got to California, when I relocated to California, I wouldn't take a job because I didn't want to drive in California traffic. I have gotten a job offer every week in the year of 2018 and 19 that I could not take because it was too far away. Okay. But guess what just happened? They just shattered that paradigm. Everybody is virtual, just like me.
Job just became local. All of a sudden, you ain't even got to leave your bed.
Why do I love social media? Because I knew this before it happened. Just like they knew that we were going to have a virus, I knew this was going to happen. Right. Okay? I knew that I was going to be working from home or wherever. I knew that. You've known me for a few years now. Have I been virtual since you know me?
Ever since, from day one.
Okay. I was the first one at my company allowed to work from home on a consistent basis. Okay. And any of my old peers, co-workers watching are probably like, yeah, they didn't like it. Okay. But I had to do something to get off. I had to be ahead of budget. I had to sell and be ahead of the curve just to be at home. Okay. But now everybody's at home. Everybody's working from home.
So Kurt, you have a lot of business owners that are working from home. They're doing whatever they're doing right now. But what about those that want to do DIY on their websites and SEOs? You can't do everything DIY. Please help them.
Please help us.
That's up to them. I have people, I don't care who they are, I'm going to train them that they can be self-sufficient. You know, they say, if you buy a man a sandwich, you eat for a day, teach him to fish, you eat for life. Okay. That's how I do it. I want to teach them how to optimize their own business. And literally, even if, do you realize that you are optimizing your business, whether you are trying to or not? I'll give you an example. Just like if you make a positive revision on your website's ranking might go up. If you get bad reviews, it might drop.
Right.
Okay, you're doing your own SEO, counter SEO. SEO doesn't mean necessarily that it says improve in performance. Okay, negative reviews kind of do improve your performance, because if you get 2 or 3 bad reviews, you're gonna have to work harder and better.
Right.
Okay? You're not gonna be allowed to keep half-assing. You can't.
I thought you couldn't cuss, Kirk.
That ain't cussing. As the pastor said, that ain't cussing.
That's them biblical words.
That's that biblical word. Would you want me to say donkey? Have donkey in it.
So how can, now that we're virtual, and many of us not by choice, I had virtual breakfast with my son this morning, which was awesome.
Wasn't it?
And although I'm on this every day, I never thought about that until yesterday when one of my friends posted, you know, how to survive during this time. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna have breakfast with my son in the morning. And so I did. But some of us aren't as excited about the virtual as I am. And we're there because we that's the only way we can survive. And so how can we impact the world? How do you think this is impacting the world? What do you think this is going to look like when, you know, May 31st?
Well, I'm not a soothsayer, fortune teller, any of those things, but logic says we will adapt. Okay, we will adapt. Evolution is not what's the word, voluntary.
No.
Okay, and we're not in a dictatorship, but we're going to be changing whether we want to or not. We're at a crossroad. Okay, and this change is inevitable. There's nothing you can do about it. You may not like it, but who wanted to? Okay, I'll say this: people didn't want to stay home when they were told to stay home, but a lot of those people are going to stay home. Okay, a lot of people realize after they go out, is it really worth it? Okay, you start asking. Just ask yourself. Like I would say, I would ask people to ask themselves, why am I doing this? You know, why am I out? Because I'm not supposed to be. And it's not, we're not being held against our will here. I don't know what your house is like. I love it here. Okay. I'm not uncomfortable at all. I'm walking around I was out in the yard this morning. I mean, the yard looks great. The driveway looks, everything's done. No one is confined. Ask somebody who's done a few years in a penitentiary if this is the same. They'll tell you not at all. Okay. But this is something that we've got to adapt to. We don't have a choice in the matter, and it's not painful. Only thing that's painful is that self-centered attitude we have about doing things differently. If you're a consultant, are you telling me you don't have clients that are resistant to improving their behavior? And that the problem with most of our clients' failures is bad behavior. Like knowing the better but not doing better. Okay.
Right.
You got to do better now. Like, I love the reviews. I get a call from somebody at Yelp every day calling about one of my clients. Yelp wants they want them to spend money on Yelp, but I don't find it necessary for everybody to be a paid Yelp advertiser. Okay, because if you're on the first page of Yelp, what else do you want? I mean, how many pages, Reggie, when you do a search, how many pages do you look at? Like if you were looking for someone, if you had a flat right now, I see you in your vehicle, you have a flat, you call in AAA.
I typically look at the first page, but if I'm researching, I will go up to the 10th page if I'm researching.
Okay. If you got a flat, how many pages are you gonna look at?
I'm going to number 1 and 2.
Okay. So I want you
Not
to see
pages, not pages. The first selection or the second selection.
exactly. Now I'm gonna show you. I'm not bullying you, but I'm showing you how the world will make you do what you say you're not gonna. You said if I'm researching,
Right.
I'm gonna look at 10 pages, okay? But the world ain't giving you an opportunity to research something in an emergency situation,
Right.
okay? If I'm looking for a divorce attorney, I might not go with the first 2 people. I might want to research and see who else is
That's
available,
right.
okay? But if I'm arrested and I'm at Loose Third in Dallas, if I'm downtown in LA, if I'm at the courthouse and I got to make a call and they give me a phone book, that's what they used to give you, a phone book. You call the first one you can get to, you try to get some help. You call a bail bondsman, you ain't looking at all of them. They're not gonna let you sit there and call 10 bail bondsmen. They're gonna say, hey, man, you got 2 calls.
Right.
So think of the 2 call theory when you do a search. What if you only had 2 calls?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now put yourself in the advertiser's position. If they only got 2 calls to call my business and I'm on page 2, how many calls I'm gonna get?
None.
None. Now that's opinion. We're just talking a theory here. They might still get calls. There are gonna be people who gonna skip and do their. Everybody's different, but random logic and habit say that they're gonna go with the ones closer to the top. Some people are afraid of the ones at the top if they got an ad by it, because that means they're paying for it. So Colette, if they paying for the ad, what you think they're gonna? What do you think about their business?
Typically,
Assumption.
I think maybe well, I think it goes back to the thought that we don't want to be sold.
Yeah.
Let me discover you. Don't try and force you on me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look for social media strategists and the 2 people on in the ads above me don't have the word strategist in their ad, but they're above me, they're not gonna call them because they're looking for a strategist. Okay. If they're looking at somebody below me, let's say mine was digital media and there was somebody below me that says social media, they're gonna call the person below me because he answered their question better.
But
Okay.
you know what, Kirk? I don't think I've ever reached out to the ad. I don't think I've ever clicked the ad. I always make it my business to go down below the ad. I ain't even if I'm researching, I ain't clicking the ad, which is, I mean, now that I think about it from the business perspective, I'm paying for this ad, but that I wouldn't even click on, because
that's why people
in my brain, I don't trust the ad.
That's why when I push your business, if I was pushing an event and I wanted everybody to see it, I'm gonna make sure you're an ad. I'm gonna make sure you're the person down here. I'm gonna make sure you're the person at the bottom. I'm gonna make sure you're the person on the next page. Okay.
Right.
That's why you're the guru.
Does that make sense?
Right. Yep. Right. So Kirk, what can business owners do during this time? You support DIYers because you teach them. What are 2 or 3 things that they can do for their website or what are SEO, website placement that they can do that would make a difference, whether they pay somebody or not?
That's a hard question because I never really tell people what to do for free. I'm joking. Anybody I would look at, I would just say they just need to be more relevant. Huh?
I said, that's my friend. That's my friend.
There it is. If they ask me, can you fix it? That's like saying, can you fix going to the doctor and saying, look, can you fix my tooth? It's hurting. Can you fix it? But I don't want to pay you. I don't want to make an appointment or nothing like that. Can you just tell me how to fix it? He gonna be like, yeah, go to the county. You know, but look, but I'm gonna answer that question.
For the people who are viewing today, you gotta give them 1 or 2 nuggets.
Yeah. They can go online and research. They're on. Okay, I gave the answer at the beginning. Everything you want to know, who do you ask?
Google.
Right. Okay.
Ask Alexa, Siri, and Google.
That's the answer. They want to know. This is if you were in school today. Be honest, Reggie. If you went back to school today, would you make A's?
I probably would.
Colette, would you make A's?
Absolutely, because that's the only way I do it unless the professor want a problem with it.
Everything is on the internet. We used to do it the hard way.
Right? We
All
did.
the answers to every question. They can literally read each question and say, Alexa, what's the square root of 12? Okay? And Alexa gonna do the homework for them. All right? They got it easy. They have it. I'm telling you the answer. I'm telling you, I just answered it. They can ask Alexa, they can ask Google, but you know what Google might tell them?
Go to YouTube.
Ask Kirk Lockhart.
All right.
Who's gonna tell them to ask me? And I'm laughing because for years, I knew we would be here one day. Not necessarily on this chat, not necessarily doing this interview, but I knew that one day people were gonna ask for help for certain things. And I figured the key would be to be the answer for those things. So set your business up to be the solution for people's problems.
Right.
Okay. If every business, even when I just meet somebody in general, I'll tell them just be specific about what you do. If I ask you what you do and you don't know, why would I pick you?
Right.
You don't know what you do.
Right.
You don't know what you do. I'm supposed to pick you. You don't know what you do.
Right. So then let me ask this, Kirk. Now, okay, so if there were 3 questions, we better be asking somebody that we're interviewing to be our social media strategist. What are those 3 questions we should be asking?
The 3 questions? Well, they're going to ask you some questions. They're going to want to know what your goals are. Okay. You can't have this conversation without goals. Okay. Like if you gave me an event, what was the 3 questions I asked? How many people are going to be at this? How many people can be at this event? Is this a virtual event or is this a physical event? If it's a physical event, we got a venue and we know how many people it can occupy. Okay, we know that. So we know how many tickets we need to sell. Are there any pre-sold tickets? You know, are there any free tickets, which I can't stand? And are there any in the paid tickets? Are they all different prices? So before we start doing anything, I want to know what it is you're trying to accomplish. So that question would, if you hire somebody and they have a prepackaged solution, run. Okay. There's no prepackaged solution. That's like a doctor with a pill. Okay. Something wrong with me, I go to the doctor, he got a pill for you. He ain't even looked at you yet. Okay. We got to find out what the goals are. And then we got to set some parameters for achieving those goals. Okay. And then we got to schedule the next time we talk about those goals. We got to do this in steps. We got to stay on task and keep going. That's what optimization is really. You know, it's not just a one-time thing. It's not like when I get a client, I never tell every client is different. I do a project at a time. And when I tell you every project is different, it is. They are not the same.
Right.
You know what I love about what you said, Kirk? So I don't do business. I do not hire a vendor for my business that doesn't ask me who my target audience is. Who am I trying to communicate with? And so my question to you was, what are the 3 questions we should be asking when we're hiring a vendor? But the answer you gave is absolute key. They should be the ones asking you the questions. And if they're not asking you the right questions, then that's probably not the right vendor. If they don't know, you ask me, who is our target? Who are we marketing to? Who is this for? How are we planning to get them into the event? What kind of event is it? All of these different questions you ask, but a lot of times I think what happens, especially for small business, is we hire somebody to do work for us who never asked us any questions. And we never asked them any questions. And so we end up not getting what we were expecting because there was no line of communication.
Right. And when I started marketing it, I was pleasantly surprised because when I relocated, I didn't relocate permanent. I was just thinking, while I'm here, I'm gonna make some money. So I created a website just for where I was, and I ranked. I was like, wow, I ranked really high immediately. And so where I had a smaller goal, my goal became bigger because I was looking for a small, like just 1 or 2 cities, and I ended up being the guy in LA. LA's huge. Okay. I don't know if you know how many cities are in Dallas. I think it's 11 or 13 cities in Dallas County. Okay. Los Angeles County has 88 cities.
Wow.
Okay. So I was like, wow, there's a lot of people here to help. There's a lot of cities. And I mean, literally, I can go to any city and find somebody. I don't even look for people anymore. I'm at this point when Yelp called me and was asking me, do I want to advertise? I was like, I really can't take anybody. Like, I really don't want people from the general public just calling saying, will you do this? It's harder to get that person. I want the person that was referred to me because I helped somebody else. Okay. That's like if you were going through a problem in your life and you were getting a physician, wouldn't you prefer a physician that was referred to you from someone who had the similar issue you had? That's the way I want to be. People say, a lady called, I talked to a lady earlier today. She said, when are you gonna go to, when are you gonna be a pastor? When are you gonna get a church? And I said, I don't think I've been called to go to a church. And she said, I think you can. I said, yeah, but he gotta call me. Okay.
Right.
That's how I feel about my next client. They gotta call me. I'm not going out looking for my clients. My clients are looking for me.
I like it.
Okay. So we got to calm this thirstiness down. You got a lot of people out there, and that's what you get. Like when Reggie said, what would you recommend, or what would you tell them, or what things could they look for? They go on Google, and I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna find. I'll just give you one of what happens when they would look for strategists. When you search social media strategists, you get the opposite. You get jobs, you get job postings, you get companies. You'll see Indeed, LinkedIn. You'll see these things, and it won't be that many companies, and there'll be some pay-per-click ads, like 3 at the top, from someone paying to try to get that lead, try to get that person. And I just sit back and wait. It's like being in a room where everybody's trying to be seen. It's not necessary. You got to be very specific and to the point with your answers so that they'll pick you. Okay, and you understand, Reggie, that if all these customers have a different goal and we talk about it and we decide what their secret sauce is going to be, we have to decide what it is they want the public to know about them. Okay, if you're an attorney and you lost your license in 2012, that ain't what you want people to know about you. Okay, but if you want a high profile murder case, yeah, you might want people to know that. So you need to make sure that that's featured in your social media. Okay. And that's on your website. Those are things that you can look at. Like, I'll look at somebody's website and dissect it right away, and I see like a major problem. Okay. Sometimes it looks like a major problem, but it's actually good.
Right.
Sometimes,
that's right.
Yeah, you can't just assume. You got to really talk to them. So that's what happens when these people call you. No one's called you and tried to sell you. Has anyone tried to sell you advertising?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Do they not make assumptions that you're not making money because you're not doing what they doing? So they'll tell you you're missing all kind of business. And you be like, really? How you know that? So I don't like selling like that.
Let me find out you tapped into my bank account. Did you put some money in it while you were?
So Kirk, that is why we contacted you. So over the last I don't know, however long you've been working with us, what have you seen that's been the difference between the way we existed on social media before and then now?
There's no difference. It's really subtle because everything was done right. I mean, y'all got some strong leadership, and what y'all had was great. It wasn't anything wrong with it. It's not about it being broke or anything. Again, it was about the goal. What the most immediate goal that was just met was well defined, and it was done in a very short period of time. So my expectation is I expect to see bigger things coming down the pike, like sooner. But it's all based on what you're trying to do. That's how you're going to evaluate our relationship, is how we achieve the next goal. Okay. So the next major event, we got to sell tickets. Those are things you look at, like, what's the bottom line for you? What's the reason we do an event? Because we have to have, if it's there should be a link somewhere. I got a client that's international, and they sell training all around the world. And I remember when I looked at their website, they have a store, they have a shopping cart, they have all these things, but none of their marketing had a link to the actual product.
Right.
They had links to the website, but not to the actual product. So what we did different was on the post, on each post, I started segmenting the posts and making the post specific to a product. So what was happening, we started selling more of the training manuals, the courses. We started selling the courses and the classes separate. People going to a class or a boot camp or scheduling, they're traveling, they're doing, that's a long-term decision. That ain't like one post ain't gonna get them. We had to have posts every week reminding people of the event, okay? And we also had to have a little retargeting, because you have to remind them that that event is coming up in New Zealand in April. Because they're gonna forget something like get this. You don't think this what's going on in the country right now, in our world right now, is affecting that event in April?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's canceling stuff. They gonna cancel that event in April? They canceled the NBA. I've never seen that before. They canceled March Madness. Never seen that before. We've experienced World War I, World War II, Vietnam. They never canceled the NBA finals or March Madness. So this is a very big crossroad in our lives, and it's definitely going to affect the way we market. But what's funny to me is I've been busy every day, where a lot of people are scared, crying. I know somebody got more money than Bank of America looking for a job, because they so afraid they're gonna lose something. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So we got to be smart about it, okay? Can't give up yet, because I know you got to go. What's your goal this week?
Is that a real question? Because I'll answer. You know, I always.
What's your goal this week? I don't mind a real question and a real answer. What's your goal? Reggie, what's your goal just this week? With everything going on, this is a real world question. What's your goal this week?
We can't hear you.
Oh, Reggie, she's speaking, but
okay. So, you know, we have several goals. We have one goal. We have one goal because we have a mastermind coming up. And on that mastermind, now that it's virtual, initially it was only going to be 25 people. So now that it's virtual, we want at least 100 people in the room. Our capacity is a little bit more than that, but for sure, 100 people in the room. Our one-on-ones, they're increasing every day because of Corona. So we're excited about that, but we can only take so many one-on-ones. And the way we crafted Red Development Group, we only want so many one-on-ones because that limits what we can do. We can reach more people through masterminds and group activities than we can one-on-one. And oftentimes, even on one-on-one, they're not totally prepared to do the work, right? Mm-hmm. So we're trying to maximize everything that we have scheduled online. We want the room full now that it's all virtual. What else are you doing?
Right.
We've even reduced the cost in certain instances.
Absolutely. And so one of our other goals is to, Reggie mentioned that we're starting this mastermind mid-April. And the real goal with that is that we get women business owners in the room who are like, come hell or high water, I am going to survive this thing. Mm-hmm. Just tell me what I need to do. Connect me with the right people because I will survive. Those are the ladies we want in the room because those are the ladies who are ready to connect with other women like them to make their business thrive. This is not about survival for us. This is about thriving because we all can. One industry may not be necessary right now, but I'm gonna tell you what, I bet you they're making more toilet paper. They're making more gowns. Everybody's not losing. Figure out a way to win because we're entrepreneurs. That's what we do. Winners win. Figure out a way to win. And so the women we want in the room, we want those women in the room who go, I don't care what happens. I am going to win. The only way that I don't win is if I get in my way. And because I'm not willing to do that, I'm going to win.
Right. And I think every tool we have in our arsenal brings momentum. If they show up, they utilize the tools, they put forth the effort, they're going to see the growth and the revenue shift.
Yes. And connections and all of that and using their girl powers to make it happen. So
Well, see,
oh, go ahead, Kirk.
I listened to the last seminar that you guys did live. It was good. And y'all, the language you're speaking is the language. It's a unique language. It's a language of hope. It's a language of faith. It's a language of determination, and it's the language of brave courage. And you have to. That's what I saw that we were lacking in this crisis is courage. A lot of people. Don't get me wrong. At the end, everybody steps up, but the panic is a result of fear. You panic. It's okay to panic. I was in a fight one time. I panicked. Man, somebody so hard they fell. I was like, oh, it was a good punch. Okay, but I panicked. And when you panic, you burn too much energy. You might run out of gas too soon. Okay, right. So we gotta, y'all. What I love about y'all is y'all calm everybody down. Y'all get them excited, but you get them calm. Hey, stop worrying about what's going on over there. Okay, I mean, it's not that difficult, and you're setting. Also, leaders lead by what? Example. Okay, so what happens if you start doing less right now? What if you just go into hibernation too? What if you don't do your meetings? What if you don't do your camps, your boot camps? What if you don't do those things? You're teaching as a leader to, well, it's kind of rough. Maybe we shouldn't do it right now. That's not realistic. See, what's gonna happen is when it stops, and it will, when it changes, you gotta be ready.
Right.
Where are you gonna be when the lights are cut back on? Are you gonna be ready? For the people who are not online, this is funny to me. This is something I actually had to say. So I said, so in April, they said in April, what you gonna do in April? You hadn't done anything all March because you've been scared. Are you gonna be ready? Because where are people gonna look when they need somebody in April? They gonna go right back online, looking for somebody to fix their problem, and they gonna call whoever they can find. And if you're not there,
you're on a number 2.
Yeah, you got out of line though. You got. I love when I'm in a long line and somebody leaves. Don't you love that? Like when you in line at the movies and they like, ooh, they ain't never gonna, and they leave. Thank you. I get to move up. I hope 3 or 4 more people leave and let me move up the line. Okay, so that's where what you told me. I see where we can help. I have some offline things I'm gonna share with both of y'all, but online I can see. There are more ways to reach that woman, that female, that strong leader, than just a post. There are other ways to do it. There's things that we talk about that you can do offline that will impact the people not the people that you know, because you can't count on family. You can't count on family for nothing but wanting to gift their Christmas. Okay. But the core of your business will never be just family. It's always gonna be people you don't know. It's gonna be people that never met you. And that's what I love about social media. Full of people you really don't know. I don't care if you say you got 500 friends. You don't know them. You don't know them. You don't know them. You know what they look like on that little picture, but you don't know them.
And you don't even know if that's really them. Sometimes you get catfished and you don't know. All I was saying.
Her name was Pat. When she walked up,
Pat stood for Patrick.
I didn't know it was Patrick. It was Pat. Right. Okay. So you gotta be careful, going forward. And you gotta meet these people. And so one-on-ones are very important. But what I would suggest, Reggie, I say this online. You may not have enough time to do all those one-on-ones, but we can do a one-on-one to get them at the boot camp, at the big meeting. You got to do more one-on-ones to get people to even come. If you prepare the person that comes to be ready, for instance, there was an event where there was a lot of free admission, okay? And then in that same event, there was paid admission. The people who were supposed to come for free didn't show up.
That's right.
Okay? Because they didn't see what? What's that word? Start with B.
Value.
Right. They didn't see a value in free.
Right.
Okay? There is a value in free when I talk you into free, but there's no value in free when I give you free.
Right.
Okay? If you was at the door, if you're trying to get in the movies and they say it's $15 a piece, and you was standing, oh, that's kind of steep or whatever, and they looked around and said, you know what? I'm gonna let you two in. I'm gonna buy one, get one free. You're gonna appreciate that because you wasn't expecting that, but you was already ready to go in. But you ain't gonna go in. You buy one, get one free don't work as good when you're trying to get people to the theater. Okay, it don't work as good. Some people be like, I ain't going down there, but I want to get one free night. You know what kind of mess gonna be in there? All them Groupon people. You know, people offline people say terrible things about each other. A lot of profiling things. But what we got to do is focus on the people we target. And this is arrogant to think that just because they own a home, they're gonna show up. People say, I hear marketers say, okay, we're just gonna target homeowners. You don't know if they're a homeowner who's facing foreclosure. You don't know if they're a homeowner that built their own home. You don't know those things. So you can't be so general in marketing. Yeah. It's not about, this is the difference. I'm not trying to go down and get everybody because everybody's not gonna come. Right. I take more time selecting people who want to be in the room.
Yes, that is the key. That is the key. Who want to be in the room. We talked last night on the webinar about your ideal buyer being the person who needs what you have, want what you have, and has the provision to pay for it. And then we took it a little bit further and said that you have determined by doing anything with this person, it makes it a win-win-win situation.
I love win-win.
Answer all of those things.
Can we say that together? Win-win.
Win-win-win.
I love win-win.
Right. Let me tell you, it's got to be 3 or it's a no-go.
That's right.
Come back. You'll come back for a win-win, but even if you get a win-loss and you won, you may not go back because you'll be like, they might get me this time.
But the key is the win-win-win with 3 wins, because guess what? If you won, they won, I won. Even if you decided you didn't want me back, they're going to want me back. They're going to make you come and get me because they know that with me, they won. So when there's 3 wins, it's unstoppable. It's what we used to say in corporate America, make yourself indispensable. The person that they need the most is always the last person to go. It's never the person that just comes in and does their job and does with their job description. Anybody can do that. But the person who's indispensable, like Mr. Kirk Lockhart, I know you guys have gotten some good stuff from this conversation because Kirk seriously is the guru. You can find him on AskKirkLockhart.com. You can find him as Ask Kirk Lockhart on any social platform because he's on all of them.
Google.
Just Google. Right. I promise you, he on the first 50 pages.
Just keep it simple.
Yes. So, Kurt, we are so grateful to call you a Red Champion and so grateful to have you on our team. And we so appreciate the fact that you have come and had this conversation with us because you've given me, and I get to talk to you all the time. And every time I learn something new just by having a conversation from you. So listen, Facebook world, we are going to be doing this every week. We'll have a new Red Champion on that we're going to be having a conversation with, and you get to be a fly on the wall and you get to join in on the conversation and over here. So you see this on our page, ask questions. We'll be more than happy to go on and answer any questions that you may have. Share it, like, comment. Don't let these resources, because you didn't pay for it, don't think that it doesn't have value, because this is the stuff that is going to help you build and grow during this time so you can thrive when all of this is done. So again, I say thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Kirk. Of course, my business partner who's always there on the crazy rides that I put us on. She's like, okay, Colette.
On the move, but it's all good.
On the move. I'm just like, hey, so we're gonna do this today. She's just like, all right. So I am extremely grateful that, you know, God has given us favor with some of his best. Kirk Lockhart is definitely one of its best. So thank you again, Kirk, for joining us. Yes.
Thank you. It's my privilege to be here. I love hanging out with you guys, and I love anytime we can talk about social media. Okay.
Right.
So I know we'll be having this. I will be back again to talk about more social media. Have some questions ready for me. You know, on the Kirk Lockhart show, we used to take call-ins, and I don't like I like call-ins, but sometimes it get crazy because everybody don't get a chance to talk. Yeah. So then the feed would be going crazy. But we might do a live show too one day. So
as a matter of fact, Kirk, what we'll do is if you guys put enough questions in the chat for Kirk, I'll twist his arm and have him come back and answer a couple of questions.
Twist this arm. It's my bad arm.
Not too bad. We don't want you hurt. We don't want you hurt. We still need you to use that arm.
I got internet on.
Very good.
So thank you all. Have an amazing night. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay well, and keep living.
Thank you, Kirk.